All right, we are ready to start this Musician's Profit Path Masterclass. I'm excited to be with you guys today. I just want to let you know about the chat that's below the video. So there is a chat roll down there, and all you need to do is click either the Facebook or Twitter button, and that will let you log immediately into chat roll because you're probably logged into one of those things already. And, then you can just comment along the way. I want to kind of get your feedback as we're going along. I want to hear questions from you at the end. So just log into the chat. You can chat amongst yourselves if you want. That would be just great if you would do that. And I also need some feedback along the way to make sure that you guys can still see me and hear me. So just log into that chat. And I'm going to go on over to the chat right now, actually, and just see how everyone is doing. If you guys would be willing to, I know there's some people that kind of hang out or they can't chat because they're on their phone or, they're in the car or whatever. That's totally cool. But if you can chat, I'd love to hear who's here and where you're from. And so I'm going to check that out right now. Let's see. It looks like we have, oh, awesome. Millicent is here. So if anybody else wants to chime in the chat, unfortunately, I don't have my assistant, Caitlin, today, who usually mans the chat because it's late for her. And so I just didn't want to, make her do it. So I'm going to man the chat today. But any of you guys, if you want to let me know where you're from, I'd love, oh, Millicent, you're in the UK, so you must be like midnight right now. Man, hats off to you for coming to this workshop at midnight. That's awesome. Okay, so I'll come back and check in a little bit, but just want to, it looks like you guys can hear me and see me because, well, you're responding to me, but yes. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and go over, and I've got my 80s music on here to get me pumped up and ready for this presentation, but I'm going to turn that off right now if I can. There we go. All right. And I'm going to go over and switch to my slides so we can start the presentation. So it's going to look a little strange for a minute, but all will be well in just a minute once I get the slides switched over. That's weird. Okay. All right, I'm sharing my screen. I'm going to put this in the background. And now, there we go. You should see a slide that says the musician's profit path. So once I get, there's a little bit of a delay. So once I get confirmation, and I'm actually going to go check here on my side and make sure that everything is running properly. Yep, I can see it. So I know it's working. Awesome. Just check and I can say hi. Okay, I want to say hi to Beth and Millicent and Ms. Let's see, how do you say that? I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry. Ms. Sarah Eliza. There we go. I got it. It's all run together, so it was hard to tell what that was. So Sarah Eliza and Millicent and Beth, great to have you guys here. Oh, Carol, awesome. So hi, how you guys doing? So keep chiming in the chat and I'll check back in a little bit, but I want to get started because I know you guys' time is very valuable. And I'm just going to keep this over here so I can make sure that, all the video is being seen and everything. I'll be checking back occasionally in the chat. So if for some reason something happens, we lose video, we lose audio, just let me know in the chat. And I am going to go ahead and start this presentation. All right, so actually turn up this volume here so I can hear myself better. There we go. So this is called the Musician's Profit Path Masterclass. And I want to encourage you as we start out this masterclass to please put aside all distractions. So I know there's so many distractions in the world, your phone, your tabs on your computer, your social media, Facebook, giving you notifications. Just put those aside, turn those off, because you're going to want to pay attention to everything that I'm saying today, and you're probably going to want to take notes because it's been proven that if you take notes, you will really retain the information so much better. And I'm getting a cough drop at the ready just in case, because I'm dealing with some allergies here. So you will really retain it so much better if you are taking notes. So I want to encourage you to do that. And even if you can't write everything down, take down the really important points that hit you. Because I can guarantee that because this is, the 5 stages of your career, like certain things will really hit you. And then that will help you realize what stage you're at right now. So So we do have some bonuses at the end. So I want you to stay, and I want to be able to offer these to you. So keep on. At the end, we'll also be answering all of your questions. So hold those if you can. Usually if my assistant Caitlin was here, I'd have you put them in the chat and she can take them down, but she's not here. So if you can hold them till the end, it'll be much easier for me to answer the questions instead of trying to scroll through the chat. So I want you to get into a mindset with me right now and just go travel into the future. And I want you to imagine a continuous flow of new fans discovering your music each day. Imagine what that would be like. Imagine what it would be like to have constant booking requests pouring into your inbox and your voicemail each week. I mean, that is awesome, right? Imagine what it would be like to have a rapidly growing fan base of super fans who buy your music and pack out your live shows. So today we're going to be talking about the 5 stages of the music career growth that I've created to help you get to that future you that we just imagined. This is the 5-stage blueprint to produce massive growth in your fan base and sustainable income for your music career. I know that's what we all want, sustainable income. So you're in the right place to be at this masterclass if you've thought, is it really possible to make money from music? Or if you've thought, I've wasted so much time and money, but made little or no progress. I know I've been there before. Or maybe you feel like I'm doing okay, but I should be doing better and I can't seem to build momentum. That can be super frustrating. So if you feel any of those things, you definitely belong here and you're going to learn a lot today. So what you're going to learn in this masterclass, you are going to learn how to build a sustainable music career without wasting time and money, awesome, right, on the wrong things. You're going to learn the 5 stages of music career growth. You're going to learn how to know what stage you're in right now. You're also going to learn which tasks you should be doing during each stage. So that's going to help you save that time and money because you're only going to be focusing on the right things. And you're going to learn what not to focus on so you can save time and money. You're going to learn the emotions that you can expect at each stage. And I think this is helpful because it really helps you feel like, okay, I'm not going crazy here feeling these emotions. It makes you feel like you're not alone in, whatever frustration or elation that you're feeling at the moment. You're also going to learn the benchmarks to reach to move to the next stage. All right, so who is this for? This is for full-time musicians who want stability in their income. This is for part-time musicians who want to move into a full-time career, but it's also for hobbyists who want to make money to be self-sustaining. So I want to drive home that point that is also for hobbyists, because I know that you have this great passion to make music, but you don't want to be draining your savings to do all the things that all the costs that are involved being a musician. So we want to get that money coming in for you so you can still continue to create and do your passion. So before we get into all of these stages, I want to give you just a little bit of information about me in case you don't know me. I know, some of you know me and some of you are totally new to me. So this is a little bit about me. I promise to keep it short and sweet, just so you know kind of the context. So I am a singer-songwriter and I am a recording artist. I've recorded 3 albums. I am also the founder of Women of Substance Radio, which I founded in 2007. And that plays in music by female independent artists. And also I founded the podcast of the same name. On this on in 2014. Sorry, I was confused by my slide for a minute. In 2014 I started the podcast, and it has become #1 new and noteworthy on iTunes, and we've also won the Podcasters Paradise Award, so that's been amazing. In 2015 I founded the Female Entrepreneur Musician podcast and the Female Musician Academy. So as you can tell, I like working with female artists. It's my favorite thing to do. I just like creating this sisterhood between females who, really support each other in their music careers. So here's a little bit about my backstory. So, I got really involved in music in choir, and I sung with a madrigal group, and I won several solo awards, and I really wanted to go on in college. There's me in the middle. You can probably see me with my 80s bangs. And so in college, I went on to get a degree in music and business. And there's me again, kind of in the middle next to the guy with the weird face. And I performed with the school's performing ensemble. We recorded a couple CDs. We went, toured all around the Western states promoting the school. And so it was an amazing experience. And I wanted to go into music after school ended, but I really had no clue how to do it. They did not prepare me whatsoever. They prepared me with a great education, but no knowledge on what to do to create a sustainable career. So because I had a business degree, I decided to get, a job in the business world, but I was able to keep one foot in the performing arts world, and I worked at Opera Pacific in Orange County. And my job was to fill this entire theater, make sure that, we got enough ticket sales, we had enough donations to put the show on stage. And so it was a big job. It was really fun. It was, it was kind of hard at the same time, because the whole time I was trying to build my performing career on the side. And I was just frustrated all the time because I saw all these artists living their passion and doing what they were good at and what they loved and performing on stage. And I wasn't able to do that. So instead I was just handing them paychecks. So that, that was kind of a bummer for me. And so I just really wanted to figure out how to make this music career thing work. So I tried for like 10 years throughout my finance career to have a music career. I did stuff on the side. I was in several different bands. This was one of the all-female bands I was in that ended up just not working out, for several reasons. But it just was a continuous cycle of overwhelm and confusion for me, not knowing how to get a foot in the music industry. And so I started to feel like, oh my gosh, is it time to give up? Like, I'm at my wit's end. Like, is there any more that I can do? But I just felt like there was this passion driving me, and I had this God-given talent, and I didn't want to waste it. And so I kept trying to figure it out. And at one point, I finally realized that all I needed to do was stop waiting to get discovered. Like, I thought, oh, I'll just be in these bands and they'll get discovered, or, they'll figure out how to do this marketing thing and I'll just follow along. But once I realized I just needed to take this into my own hands and treat it like a real business, that is when the magic happened. That was when I had a breakthrough, and I started really building it as a business and a career, started booking tours, and started, recording an album and just doing all kinds of things to get myself out there and build my fan base. And within a year of that, I was singing in front of 60,000 people at Dodger Stadium and lots of other venues, but this is the one I had a picture of. So, it was an amazing experience to be able to do that. But had I just continued to like wait around for someone else to hand me a music career, this would not have happened. So, what I did is I took it into my own hands. I sold out my entire set of 1,000 albums when I created them because I was able to book a bunch of tours and sell the albums there. So, I booked several tours that year and I took all the risk and I got all the rewards. So I was able to make good money off that. So I want you to be able to do that too. And that's why I created these 5 stages of music career growth. Now, I want to be clear about this. Like, these stages are stages that I created that I would want to have done in this order had I done it correctly and started at the beginning. Now, even I went out of order on some of these, but I feel like this is the best path for an artist to take to, not take on so much monetary risk and also be able to build slowly and surely a sustainable career. So keep in mind, if you've done things out of order, from what I talk about in these 5 stages, that's totally okay. Totally okay. We just need to go back and fill in the gaps. So I'm just going to actually go check the chat, make sure that everything is okay. It looks like video is all good because I can see it. Cool. Okay. Awesome. So I want to say hi to Sue's Q and let's see, Etern Music. Sorry, my screen's a little bit small, so if I say I'm wrong. Joe Lazaro. Who else do we have on here? As I said before, Millicent and Carol. It's great to have all you guys. Thanks for hanging out in the chat. Just be sure and let me know if something goes wrong with the sound. So these are the 5 stages of music career growth. We have the foundation, the promotion, the expansion, the automation, and the profession. So the reason that I created these is because I want artists to stop skipping around the stages, because when you skip around, you get overwhelmed. You try to do things that you're not ready for because you see other artists doing them, and then you waste time and money and you end up never finishing any of them. So I don't want that to happen. So that's why I created this blueprint for you. So the foundation stage. The foundation stage is all about establishing your brand and presence online. So you're in the foundation stage if you haven't thought about your artist brand yet. So, you haven't thought through, what you really represent as an artist, how you want to be represented in images, in logo, in colors, all that stuff. And to get there, you really have to think through like what your core values are and, why your big why for being an artist and who you're serving. So that is all stuff that you figure out during your foundation stage. You're also in the foundation stage if you don't have a completed or well-organized musician website. And I would venture to say there's a lot of people out there that have done a lot of other things in like the further on stages, but they don't have a website, because I see that all the time. You're in the foundation if you haven't written your artist bio, which is more like a story, not like a resume, and or your bio that you have written needs some work. So that's something we do during the foundation. You're in the foundation if you haven't set up at least 2 social media channels that you will use, so that you feel comfortable on and you're going to focus on. You're in the foundation if you haven't yet performed in public, or you're only doing open mics or coffee shops. So, there are some artists that have recorded an album but yet never performed live. So, and like I said, sometimes you'll be way further ahead in one area. Like you'll performed at a lot of venues, but you don't have a website and you haven't figured out your brand. So, these are just gaps you need to fill in. But if you started from the beginning, this is how I would say you should do it. So what to focus on during the foundation stage? So based upon what we just said, obviously, we're going to be focusing on your artist branding. We're going to be focusing on setting up your branded music website with personalized domain name. You're going to want to have like brenoble.com, not, some crazy, bandzoogle breenoble.website.com or whatever it is. You don't want that. People are not going to remember that. You can't put it on posters. So you need to make sure you have your domain name. You need to set up your YouTube channel, because for social media, that is something that every musician should have, in my opinion, even if you're just doing live videos. Set up 1 or 2 additional social media channels for fan attraction and engagement, and they need to be ones that you enjoy, so you're not going to dread going on them every day. You need to set up your email list and get your first 100 subscribers. Now, maybe you have an email list already and you have your first 100, or you have like dribs and drabs all over the internet. I see this, I have a small list at Reverb Nation, and I have a small list of people that bought stuff on CD Baby. I have their emails, and I have some business cards over here that I collected. You need to collect all these into one single place so you can communicate with them. And I have an exercise that I do with people to help them get their first 100 subscribers. And it's amazingly easy, actually, when they actually go through the exercise that I give them. So it's not that daunting. You will want to focus on performing at least once per week at open mics or coffee shops. And that is going to be to build your confidence and poise on stage. So what not to focus on? There's a lot not to focus on here because you're just in the foundation stage. No fan capture beyond your first 100 subscribers. Don't stress out about building a big list yet. We just want to get that going. No elaborate social media strategies, no advertising, no recording, no higher level gigs. We're just focusing on the things in the foundation. So emotions that you're going to feel during the foundation stage. Definitely you're going to feel like you're lonely, like nobody gets what you're doing. I see this all the time where artists feel super isolated because their family members don't get it. I mean, I know for me, even, back when my husband didn't get it, like he didn't get the drive that I had to have a music career. And that just made me feel very alone in the world. You can also feel a lot of impatience. Like, why is this taking so long? Like, it takes a long time to build a website and write a bio and figure out my branding. And can't I just move on to the fun stuff? No, you got to build this foundation. You also may feel extremely overwhelmed, like you can't possibly do all of this stuff. But I promise you that if you break it down into little pieces, you can. You're also probably going to feel fear and a lack of confidence. And that's why we're building up your confidence at these open mics and coffee shops. But you're probably feeling like, will anyone ever care about my music or come to my shows? And I know I felt that way. And that's why I tried to hide inside of bands for such a long time, because I was afraid to go out there on my own. You also will feel doubts about your talent and ability. You might be thinking, I don't think I'm good enough. Maybe I shouldn't even start this thing. I'm not sure if I'm good enough. So know if you're feeling that and you're in the foundation stage, you're definitely not alone. So benchmarks that you need to reach to get to the next stage. Well, obviously you have to have a clear idea of your brand and who you are as an artist and who your ideal audience is. You need to have your website all set up with your domain name, and it needs to really represent you well and proudly represent you and your music. You need to have established your email list and gotten your first 100 subscribers. So you need to figure out what you're going to use. I personally like Bandzoogle, and I always recommend to my Academy members that they use Bandzoogle because it comes with a mailing list, but the mailing list is a bit limited. So, there are other places like MailChimp that has a free mailing list up to 1,000, places like MailerLite, but you need to choose somewhere to congregate your email subscribers. You have your YouTube channel set up, and you've started using at least one additional social media platform, probably 2. You have performed enough in non-threatening venues like open mics and coffee shops that you're comfortable on stage and you perform with confidence. and you're developing your ability to really have rapport with the audience, that give and take. That is what you need in order to move into paid performances. Okay, so we're on to the promotion stage. I just want to check the chat, make sure there's not like something pressing going on here. Oh, it looks like audio broke up a little bit, but oh good, but we're back. Awesome. Okay, so I see people here from Canada, from the UK, from obviously the US. Great to see you guys here. Anybody that didn't let me know where you're from, I'd love to recognize where you're from. All right, so I'm going to move on to the foundation stage, to the promotion stage. So during the promotion stage, you're getting attention for your music and starting to build your fan base. And this is where it gets exciting. So you're in the promotion if you have an effective music website, but not much traffic to it. So it's all set up, but nobody knows it's there yet. You have an email list of at least 100, but no more than 500. So we're going to build to 500 during this stage. Your social media channels are established, but you don't have much engagement yet. That's what we're going to work on during this stage. You've performed enough to be comfortable on stage, and you haven't yet received consistent pay for your performances. So maybe people have given you money here and there, you've gotten tips, but you haven't been like booked a lot for paid performances. So what to focus on during the promotion stage? We're going to create your freemium to get email subscribers, and that is going to involve taking a song or a group of songs and offering it for free in exchange for email addresses, because those are so valuable. That will allow you to stay in contact with your fans a lot better than on social media. And you can use, you can use lots of different ways to set up that freemium, and I have training available for that. But that is definitely what you're going to want to do to set up your email list for success, because you want to be able to get some subscribers and cultivate them and nurture them into super fans. So you're also going to be promoting your freemium once you've got that set up on your website and social media channels and at gigs. I certainly got a lot of email subscribers at gigs, and then they sign up and then you send them their free song. It's a great way to do it because they're right there. They're excited about you. You're going to be getting your story and or your music featured in local media. So I want you to focus here on local media first before you start trying to, get into Music Connection or, some, big Nashville's magazine or whatever. You need to focus on your local media area first. You can get a lot of, placements that you can put on your website and show that you're media worthy and that you have experience doing interviews. So when you get to the bigger ones, you are really a pro at it. And it's much easier to get local media too. So I don't care if you're in a podunk town like where I live, there still is local media. And, there's 10,000 people in my town to promote to. So why wouldn't I do that? You're going to be sending an email to your list at least twice per month. So now that you're building your list from 100 to 500, I want you to send something to them at least twice per month. So you're keeping that relationship. You're keeping yourself top of mind. You're going to use live streaming, either Facebook or YouTube Live, to engage with fans. So you guys are so lucky to be doing music during this time period because live streaming is amazing. It is such a great tool for getting fans and engaging fans, and you don't even have to leave your house. So, it may be scary at first to do live streaming, but I know you can do it. I was very freaked out by it at first too, but now I love it. Love live streaming. Next, you're going to be focusing on small venues and low-paying gigs. And you're also going to perform your first house concert. That is one of my favorite kinds of venues to perform as an indie artist, and especially as someone who's just starting out, because you've got small audiences, you've got, almost forced engagement because they're so close to you. And that will allow you to really build your rapport with them and, cultivate them into super fans. Next, you're going to be getting gig referrals from performances. So, you bring flyers, you bring cards, you bring postcards, whatever you like to hand out at gigs, and people take those. Like, I used to just give away tons of flyers at every gig that I did, and then I'd get phone calls or emails from people that I didn't know wanting to book me for things, saying I was recommended by a friend. So, what not to focus on during the promotion? We are still not focusing on advanced fan capture strategies. We're not focusing on blogging yet. We're going to talk about that in a minute. We're not focusing on social media automation, which comes later and helps you a bit. But right now we're just doing some, organic social media stuff. We're not focused on paid advertising yet. And we're not recording anything yet. That's my recommendation. I know many of you have, and that's okay. But build your fan base first before you record. And you're not focusing on higher level gigs yet, festivals and stuff like that, big, well-known local gigs. Like, focus on the house concerts and the smaller venues and really, really building yourself up as, building up your chops as an artist. Okay, the emotions that you're going to feel during the promotion stage. So this is a hard one. Like, you really do feel vulnerable because you're starting to put yourself out there and you're thinking, what if they hate me or my music? Because you're starting to get PR and you're starting to be a lot more visible. And you may not be ready for that. You may feel super uncomfortable about it, but it will get easier, I promise. You're also going to continue to feel impatient, like, how come my email list is growing so slowly? And how come it's not blowing? My social media channels aren't blowing up. It seems like other people's are. Don't worry. Time is your friend. If you keep employing the strategies, it will happen. It just won't happen overnight. You're also going to continue to feel overwhelmed, like you can't do it all, this marketing stuff, and do your creative stuff, write songs, do the good stuff. And that can be frustrating, but you will be able to get there. You might have this major comparison and envy situation going on. You're going to think like, why are they getting such great gigs and why are they getting all the press? And I feel like it's so hard for me. I've definitely been there. I've thought, how come it looks so easy for them? But I didn't realize that they spent the 2 years like I did, or the 1 year, really pounding the pavement and stuff. And they didn't get there overnight. So, don't beat yourself up. Don't compare yourself to other artists. That is like a surefire road to failure, comparing yourself to other artists. So, imposter syndrome. So you might feel like, I'm not a real musician unless I have a pro recording. Or, who am I to be doing this? One of my students said this to me the other day. Like, I felt like, who am I to be performing on stages? Like, I feel like someone needed to, award me like this certificate that I'm now good enough to be performing on stages. And, don't get caught up in that. Like, you are good enough. If people have told you that they love your music and they enjoy it, then you're good enough and you deserve to have an audience that likes you. You also might have major spotlight fear. So, would someone really pay to see just me play? And you're going to just feel so much more vulnerable during this time because of all the PR that you're generating. You also are going to feel, luckily, excited, validated, like all those people that were naysayers and saying, oh, you're crazy. Why are you doing this? Now they're like, oh, like, this is a real thing. You're really making some progress here. And you're going to feel connected to your fans, which is super fun. So, benchmarks that you need to reach to get to the next stage. You are going to need to create your freemium, as I mentioned, and you're going to have it bringing in new subscribers. So you're going to have it placed in all of the, websites, social media, all that, and it's going to be working for you, and it's going to be working for you at your live shows. You are seeing fan engagement through social media posts and live streams. So you're going to start having your fans commenting, liking, sharing your stuff. You're, moving on to the next stage when your email hits 500 subscribers. You're moving on to the next stage once you've performed your first profitable house concert, and that means that you've, made money from that endeavor. So the next stage is called the expansion stage, and I'm going to actually go into the chat, make sure all is good here. Sydney, Australia, awesome. So Zarina Dara, great to see you from Sydney, Australia. North coast of California. That's, well, not the coast, but I'm in California. I live near Yosemite. So I'd love to hear where you are. I love the North Coast. I grew up in the Bay Area, but I was actually, my husband and I got engaged in Mendocino. So we love to go back there and visit. Let's see. From Nashville. Awesome. Jesse from Nashville. Carol from Switzerland. Awesome. But you're in New Zealand. Okay, cool. So I know you guys would tell me if you can't hear me or see that. I know you can see the video because I can see it. But all right, so the expansion stage. So during the expansion stage, you start creating lots of content to engage fans and make money. So what I mean by content is not just, like blogs and emails, it's live streams and concerts. And then it will be recording. Yay, we're finally to recording. So we'll talk about that in a minute. So you're in the expansion stage if your social media and website traffic is growing organically. If you have an email list of over 500, so we're just kind of recapping here. You're starting to get steady engagement on social media. You've performed some profitable house concerts and or smaller gigs for pay. You're starting to get gig referrals, as I mentioned, gig swap opportunities. That's where you and other artists do some swapping between your cities or your venues, and lots of other great referrals. So what to focus on during this expansion stage? Record your first album or EP. Yay, we're finally here. So now it's time. You've got 500 people on your email list. You have a lot better chance of being able to sell some albums, and you're going to be continuing to grow it during this stage as well. This stage could definitely be like a year long, if not more, depending on, how long the recording process takes and all that, and the growing of your email list and your fan base. So you're going to record your first album or EP. You're going to be engaging with fans weekly through email. So now we've bumped it up to weekly because you really want to stay top of mind. And keep in mind, this is not like a full-on newsletter every week. This is like one thing in an email with one call to action. Watch my new video. Check out my live stream. Come to my show. Read my blog. This is not like you have to do the full-on newsletter every week. You're going to be writing a blog post on your site at least once per month. So that can be one of your emails that you send out, sending them to your blog post. But it just helps fans get to know you, get to understand you. I mean, you can think about a blog post more like a journal or a diary, talk about things that have happened on the road or in the studio. It's just a really fun behind the scenes kind of thing. Use live streaming, Facebook or YouTube Live, to reliably engage. I'm sorry, not reliably, regularly engage with fans. So I said reliably because you need to be consistent with this. What's really successful with live video is if you set up a time once a week and you are on there at that time, people know when you're on and people start to tune in like a TV show. And that is when you can get the best engagement. You can get people coming back again and again. And I know I have one of my Academy members does something called Tea and Tunes. And she's on once a week, every week at the exact same time. And she has some regular, viewers. She's gotten some press around it. So it really can snowball into a great way to get fans if you're consistent. You will be expanding your PR reach outside your local area. So we'll start focusing on some of the big music cities now, and some of the cool online magazines and stuff like that. And podcasts and blogs and stuff like that. You're going to be creating some social media automation to increase engagement and free up some of your time. So there are lots of tools you can use to create automation. So you plan your social media out once a week, you send out content, and then you go on daily and engage with people that have given you comments. But you're still automating a lot of the content, so it frees you up and not to have to get up every day and think about what you're going to post on social media. Okay. You are going to start booking medium-sized venues, festivals, bigger venues around your area that you've always wanted to play, showcases, stuff like that. You're going to use your network, your email list, and your social media to book mini tours that include gig swaps, medium-sized venues, and house concerts. So you're ready to start booking some tours during this stage. You're going to be adding team members. So here is where you start to deal with the overwhelm. Now, keep in mind, this doesn't have to be paid. If you're not bringing in enough money at this point, usually you can start with some volunteers, or you can barter with somebody and offer them something, maybe a free house concert, maybe, some merch or something. But you may be able to find a fan, a local high school or college student. I know I had my mom helping me with a bunch of admin stuff back in the day. So, look for people that have a vested interest in your career and get some help, because it is a lot to do if you want to still continue to be creative and write songs and record and perform, as well as get all the admin stuff done. So, what not to focus on during the expansion stage? We're still not focusing on advanced fan capture strategies. We're not focusing on hiring booking agents and managers. That's why we're getting help, because we want to still keep all this stuff in-house. We are not hiring a PR agent or a radio promoter, because those are darn expensive and you just don't have the audience to support it yet. You're not focusing on paid advertising yet. And you're not focusing on recording beyond your debut album or EP. You are not focusing on online sales automation yet, but we'll get there. So the benchmarks to move on to the next stage. Oh, I'm sorry, not the benchmarks. The emotions that you feel during the expansion stage. So this is like a very fun stage. I love this stage because you feel momentum and motivation. You feel like you're on a roll. It's so fun, because things are starting to work. You're starting to see that snowball rolling down the hill and collecting more and more fans as it goes. You start to feel overwhelmed again, like I said, and that's why you get help, because you feel like the more success you have, the more it seems there is to do. You also might, because you're trying to get people to help you, you might get that martyr syndrome. Like, oh my gosh, it's just so much easier to do it myself. It takes so long to train people. It's not worth it. Trust me, it is worth it. You just need to put in the time, because you can't keep doing it all yourself. But you are going to feel pride in what you're doing. Yes, it's finally happening. I finally have like what people would recognize as a real career, a real budding career. You're also going to feel valued. Like you don't need to settle for being a starving artist anymore. You've earned it. You can now expect to receive money for your performances and have people pay you for your albums and your music and your, special events that you do and experiences and house concerts. Okay, so now we're to the benchmarks. So the benchmarks to get to the next stage, when you've reached, when you've broken even on your first album. So that may take a while. That's what I'm saying. Depending on how much you've built your fan base already and how much, many gigs you're booking and how much your freemium is working for you, this could take a while. This stage could be 1 to 2 years. but that's okay because we're building a solid career that's going to last. You can go to the next stage when your fans are responding to your emails, live streams, and posts on a regular basis. You really feel that give and take with them. You're moving to the next stage when your email list hits 1250. Weird number, right? But I have seen time and time again that for some reason, this is like a tipping point number. It just has kind of shown up for me and some of my students. And so I just feel comfortable with this number. So that's the number. It's not exact. If you're at 1200, you're moving on to the next stage. But it just seems to be a number that was very coming up a lot. So you're moving to the next stage if you have at least one team member helping with tasks like marketing, social media, booking, and admin. And like I said, that can be a volunteer or someone you're bartering with. You're getting consistent gig referrals and opportunities such that you rarely have to make cold calls. This is a big one. When I reached this stage, it was awesome because I don't love making cold calls and having people call me up and email me up and ask me to, perform people that I don't even know. That was awesome. And you can get there. So the next is the automation stage. I'm going to check real quick, make sure that everything's good in the chat. Okay, so I'll talk about house shows a little bit at the end in the question and answer. Victoria, BC. Awesome. Oh, Humboldt County. It's so beautiful up there. Okay, so we are on to the automation. Now, I do not have the multitude of slides. You're probably thinking, oh my gosh, we've been doing this for however many minutes and there's 2 more stages left. Well, there's a reason for that because pretty much most of the people that I work with are not yet into these last 2 stages. They're, most of the people that I work with are in the first 3 stages because, they haven't gotten to this 4th and 5th stage yet. But I want you to know what they are so you can look forward and, like I said, like future pace yourself. Imagine yourself being in these stages. But in the automation stage, I call it that because we're going to create a system of getting fans and gigs that you can expand into automated sales. So you get a system working for you where people go onto your email list and they get introduced to your music and then they get offered something and then they buy it and then they get offered something else later on and they buy it. And this all happens in the background where you don't have to do anything. And then the final stage, the profession stage, you are making consistent and predictable money from your music. Now, keep in mind, once you're here, you have not arrived. Like you might feel like you've arrived, but there's all kinds of, new level, new devil kind of stuff that happens when you get to this stage. You have to figure out, well, should I do a big PR campaign and pay someone for that? Should I get a manager to help me out? Because at this point, you probably have an assistant of some kind that maybe you're paying, but you don't know, maybe you should have someone else come in and do the management stuff. And so there's a lot more decisions to be made during this time period. You're never really done growing your music career. So I want to see in the chat, like, what are your takeaways from this? Did you recognize yourself in any of these stages where you're at? Or did you think, oh yeah, I remember what it was like to be in that foundation stage. Boy, that was frustrating and overwhelming. I'm so glad I'm past that. What resonated with you? And, throw that in the chat box and I'll check on that in a minute. But I want to, ask you, like, you're probably thinking, so how in the world do I do all this? This seems like so much, right? Like, how can I make sure that I'm staying on track and doing the right tasks? Especially when you're dealing with that overwhelm. How can I ask for help if I get stuck? Because I feel super isolated and I feel like I'm the only one in my sphere that understands what I'm doing. How can I do it in a way that eliminates the guesswork and overwhelm? So what would it mean to you to have a system that tells you exactly what to focus on so you can stop winging it and feeling frustrated and lost? What would it mean to you to have a community to support you so you don't have to go it alone? And what would it mean to you to have a mentor who's been there and done that to help you every step of the way? Well, I appreciate your time today, and I want to introduce you to the Female Musician Academy. If you really want to implement this 5-stage blueprint and get to that future you that we imagined, that things feel so much easier and you've got a sustainable career, whether you're a hobbyist or a full-time or part-time musician, we have all of those types of people in the academy. I've got someone that just joined that said, I have a full-time job, but I do music on the side. I love it and I want to do better. And I've got other people that are like, I am gung-ho full-time for music. I want to go through these stages as quick as possible. And then I have lots of people in between that are maybe part-time but want to be full-time. So I have created for you the Female Musician Academy, a training platform and sisterhood exclusively for female musicians. So what you'll get in the academy. The academy involves training from my signature course, the Indie Music Profit Plan. So I've taken a lot of the training from my signature course, which actually, many people paid $500 for this course. But I've taken this course material and organized it into these 5 stages. So you don't feel like completely overwhelmed by this massive, course that you have to go through and figure out which things you should be doing. No, I'm going to tell you what you should do when, based upon the 5 stages. And it takes a load off of your shoulders for sure. So also we have all the current courses that we have in the academy. So all that training I just mentioned, but some courses, including my Profitable House Concerts course, which is my most popular course, teaches you how to make money with house concerts. My Facebook Ads Made Easy course that just came out. I'm in the process of creating it right now, and I just released the first few modules of that. And Who Needs a PR Agent, that helps you learn how to do your own PR and not have to pay high fees for PR. And all the other future courses that I create. And I create courses based upon the needs in the academy. So you also get one expert workshop every month with guests like Dave Kuzik, Tiamo De Vittore, Steve Pal Freeman, Michelle Lockie, D. Grant Smith, Louis Vijour. I mean, these are hopefully names that you recognize. I know you probably recognize Dave Kuzik. Steve Pal Freeman is of the Music Launch Hub. Michelle Lockie is from Licensing Songs Academy. D. Grant Smith talks about radio play and how to get radio play. Louis Vijour has a couple of great workshops on booking and how to find a manager, and many, many more. So we've been around for almost 2 years. So we've been stacking up these expert workshops, one per month, and we continue on with them. This month we have my friend Kara Chase talking about Instagram for musicians. So we try to hit all the bases of what you guys need. We also have group coaching Q&A sessions with me and our community 2 times per month. So we have one on the first Friday, which is this Friday, in the morning and at noon Eastern. And then we have one on the third Thursday in the evening, 8 Eastern, in order to make it easy for everyone in the world to come to at least one of them. So, we've got people in US, Canada, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, South America. So we try to make things available across the board so none of you are left out. And we also have replays, of course, of those if you can't make it. We have continuous access to all workshop and coaching call audio and video replays, like I said. So those are all inside the academy. Plus, we have access to our private, super supportive sisterhood community exclusively for serious female artists. So if some of you guys are in my free group, I have a free group called the Indie Music Community. the female indie musician community. And there's a lot of people in there, and it's clearly like there are a lot of great people in there, but there's a lot of people in there that are just pitching themselves, promoting themselves, not out to help each other. And this community is so different from that. All the people in this community are supporting each other. We had a girl the other day who needed help with her bio. She wanted some opinions. She put her bio up, and within like a few hours, there was 8 or 9 responses to her telling her all the things they loved about her bio and anything they thought that she should change. So, it's just a really supportive sisterhood community. Hard to find something like that around these days. So this is kind of a back end view of the Academy. You can see all the courses and things that we have in there. We've got our 5 stages, and those are all, like if you click on that, that's an individual course with all the training in it. All of our focus trainings, all of our goal setting and stuff up here at the top, and our expert workshops. And it continues on down with the coaching calls and everything. I can't show the whole thing. But so are you the right fit for the Academy? So you are the fit if you're sick, feeling overwhelmed by information overload. And I have definitely been in information overload. It's so easy to get there nowadays because there's so much information available. And what happens to you when you're information overload is you're seeing all this information. Oh, I should do this thing. Oh, this person says this thing is good. And then you just you go into shut off mode because you're like overwhelmed with it. And then you end up doing nothing. So that's why I do the organization into the 5 stages. So that doesn't happen to you. You're a perfect fit for the Academy if you're too busy to figure it all out on your own. So I just give you all the steps in order. You're a perfect fit if you tend to get fired up and then lose steam. So that's why we have the community. That's why we have the coaching calls, because I don't want you to get super excited about building your music career, and then 2 weeks later, you're distracted by something else and you're not as focused and you're not as excited. We try to continuously pull you back in and get you re-engaged in the community. You're a perfect fit if you feel isolated and alone, like no one gets what you're doing, no one gets what you're going through as an indie artist. I definitely felt this way on my journey, and I found a group like the Academy, and it was a godsend to me. And it is really what pushed my career into the next level. I would have continued to be isolated and stuck had I not found that. So why do we have a membership site and not just a course? As I said, I have my Indie Music Profit Plan course, but the reason I chose to move more in the direction of a membership is that in a course, people buy the course and then they don't engage. Like they don't, I was having coaching calls with them and nobody was showing up. And I just wanted to help them get through the material, but they were not as responsive because a course does not, require any kind of give and take. Whereas in a membership, it's a community, it's a network. And I want to have this connection with you and this coaching opportunity with you to keep you on track and keep you accountable. In a course, there's not really any good way to keep the students accountable. You can send them emails and say, so are you on track? But it's not the same as a community where there's that accountability piece of watching the other people. We have wins Wednesday and milestones Monday and True Talk Tuesday and Q&A Thursday, and all those, responses in there will get you excited to make progress as well. So I want you to think about, as I did in the beginning, where will you be in 3 months? If you're in the foundation stage, you could easily be onto the promotion stage in 3 months if you follow the training. The foundation stage should not take you that long if you focus. So, if you're in the promotion stage, you could get to the expansion stage in 3 months because you only need 500 email subscribers. So think about if you really focused on your music career, where you could be in 3 months. So you're probably thinking, what is the investment, right? Well, I am happy to say that for a few more weeks, we are offering the Academy at $39 a month. And we are going to be raising our price soon because we have gotten a lot of new members. And, as you know, supply and demand. But for now, the Academy is $39 a month. You are completely welcome to cancel at any time if it's not right for you. That's the great thing about the monthly option. We do have a yearly option for $297. That will also be going up in a few weeks. And it saves you $171 if you go for the annual. So if you're pretty sure that you want to, really jump in with both feet and commit, then the annual is for you. So I just want to read this little quote here from one of my students. She actually just posted this in a Facebook group. So it wasn't like I asked for a testimonial or anything. She just spontaneously said that, I wanted to say how important being a part of the Academy is to me and how much I get from this group. I do feel that I'm part of a tribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So thanks for that, Wanda. That's the kind of feelings that we foster in the Academy. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what you get because we do have a bonus involved here, as I mentioned earlier. But if you're ready to jump in, you can just go to femalemusicianacademy.com. That is the link, and that'll be showing on the bottom of the screen the whole time here now. So if you're ready to just go and grab that, you can. There should also be a button on your page that will appear after you've been here for an hour that you can just click on to go to the Academy. But as for bonuses, I've got a pretty cool bonus for you. So because you attended this masterclass and you signed up for this masterclass, you will get the bonus of 20-minute one-on-one video call with me where we go through your strategy. We talk about where you are now, where you're going to be in 3 months. We figure out your 90-day goals and your action steps, and I point you to the places in the Academy that are going to be the most helpful to you. So this has been an awesome bonus that I've been offering lately, and I can only offer it to people that join when, they sign up for this masterclass, because otherwise, I would be doing this all day long. Like I fill up my Mondays and Fridays with these because I really want to get to know you guys. I want to make sure you start off on the right foot, and I want to help you. But for me, in any program that I've joined, when I get a one-on-one, that is like golden because it really starts me off on the right foot. It helps me understand how things work in the group. It helps me get to know, my mentor and really connect with them. And so when I ask questions later, I feel like I'm just talking to a friend and not just, asking somebody that I don't know. So that's why I'm doing this. And that is available to anyone that joins during this promotion that I am doing through this masterclass. But we have another one, and this one is big. So since you're here with me right now, if you join while we are on live and you join with the annual plan, then you will get this huge advertising bonus. So many of you know what Women of Substance is. I mentioned it earlier. Some of you are artists on our station. But we have a radio station and #1 award-winning podcast all about female indie artists. And I am offering a 1-month Diva ads package, which is worth $99. It gives you 60-second radio ads all month long, 2 banners on our player, 2 banner sizes, and 5 podcast spots. And we create your ads for you. So you don't have to do anything except come up with a 3 or 4 sentence script and give us a picture and a link. That's it. We do all the rest for you. We have professionally created ads. They sound great. And that is yours totally free if you join while we're on this workshop and you go for the annual plan. So that is $297. That includes this $99 bonus. So if you subtract that off, you're really paying less than $200 for an entire year of the Academy. And people are paying $99 a month all the time for this Diva package. So it's not just some throwaway bonus. Like people really pay this all the time. And it's a big deal for me to offer this to you guys. But that's why I only offer it live, because I can't give out a ton of these. So if you want this bonus and you want to go annual and save $171 and get this $99 bonus and the 20-minute one-on-one, then you need to go to femalemusicianacademy.com. And what you'll do is you'll hit the join button. It will take you to the section where you choose annual or monthly. Then you choose that one of those, you hit join, you create a password, and you enter your credit card information, and you are in. And if I get that notification before we're done on this workshop, then you'll get to have this bonus. So as I said, it's 60-second audio ads played all month long, 2 banners, 2 banner ads, and 5 podcast spots, which I forgot to put on the slide, and done for you ads. So purchase during this webinar to get that. So let's recap what you get. So you get training for the 5 stages of growth. You get all existing courses and future courses, all the ones I mentioned, including the house concerts one, which is my most popular, and the Facebook ads one, which is new and I'm about to release that to the world pretty soon. But you get it as an Academy member for free. Monthly expert workshops, 2 live group coaching calls per month. And if you join today, then you can come on to our first coaching call on Friday. Supportive sisterhood community, and then our bonuses. So masterclass bonus of a one-on-one strategy call with me, and the fast action bonus while we're on this workshop of $99 ads package that you can get for joining on annual. So here again is the information in order to join. $39 per month, or $297 a year. And as I said, that price is going to be going up in a few weeks. We already have it planned out at femalemusicianacademy.com. So I want to introduce you to a few people in the Academy that have made some great strides. These are actual members now, so you will actually meet them when you join. And they're very, very active members. So this is Carlene. She says, 4 important principles I've learned in the Academy: understanding, focus, organization, and accountability. Thanks to Bree, I'm now playing regular gigs and making money. So she was just reporting on her taxes. Like the year before, she made like 0. And then this last year she made, thousands of dollars. And she was doing this still part-time. So she was really excited about that. So this is Kim. Kim was kind of in the situation where she was a musician and doing really well. And then she kind of pulled back in order to have kids, and she stepped out of the spotlight for several years. And when she came back, like the landscape had changed a lot. And so she was, had to like relearn a lot of things in a different way. And she said, the Academy propelled me forward and gave me the knowledge and tools to find my way. Thanks to Bree, I made $500 at my first house concert. That was exciting when she did that. So this is Shar. As you can see, we have people in the Academy of all different ages and all different genres. We've already seen, a folk artist, a like Christian and pop artist. Shar is more like a folk artist, singer-songwriter. So she says, Bree has built an engaged community in addition to providing solid information to help you grow your platform. And then Maggie. So Maggie, she was one of our very first members who joined. And she said, I've tried a few other programs and wasted time listening to things that didn't apply to me. I found Bree's Academy to be the best, most personalized, supportive, value-packed online music business program out there. Wow, I was amazed when she sent me that. I was just floored. but she's still an active member, which is awesome. So what do you have to lose? It's less than 82 cents per day if you go with the annual plan. I mean, that just seems so tiny to me for all of this great training. Probably why I'm going to raise the price. So let's talk refund. So on the monthly membership, you can cancel at any time, and there's no problem. You have the ability to easily cancel. You can do it right within the platform, and no questions asked. So just try it out. Like, for $39, what do you have to lose? But with the annual plan, we do not have a refund because you get such a huge bonus with it when you get that fast action bonus. So be really sure that you want to join, but you get such an amazing bonus for it. It's totally worth it. So as I said, the prices are going up soon. Also, to let you know, if you go with the monthly or annual, those prices are grandfathered in forever. So we've been raising our price slowly as the demand goes up and up. And all the people that joined before, they still keep their price as long as they stay a member in good standing. And that's the same with you. So when we raise our price, you'll get to keep that $39 a month no matter what, as long as you stay a member in good standing. So that is what I have for you today. I really encourage you to go over to femalemusicianacademy.com and join us. I know that you're really going to get the help that you need in the academy, whether it's that you just really need the community because you feel isolated and stuck, whether it's you want to work with me as your mentor, whether it's that you really just need the roadmap and the training in the 5 stages. All of that is available to you. So I want to go ahead and answer some questions now. Let me check over here in the chat and see if you guys have any questions as we go. Let's see. Birmingham. Oh my gosh, you're also up really, really late. I'm impressed with you, Jane. Impressed that you stayed up. Let's see. Do you make sure? Okay, wait, hold on. I wonder if emailing fans weekly is too much. Well, I understand why you think that, but I actually do not think that. I think if you send out a once a month newsletter, then you're usually trying to pack too much into it. And that's when I tend to go like, oh, I'll read this later and, stick it in another box or let it fall down to the bottom of my inbox because it's too much. If they get used to you just giving like one little quick thing, like, hey, I've got a cool video. If you want to check it out, here's the link, and then they're not going to feel overwhelmed by opening your email. It's always going to provide value, but I don't think that you should be afraid that you're emailing too often. I'm amazed at all these UK people. You guys really impress me. I can't stay up that late. Oh, okay. So Sarah Eliza, your music has been on Win with Substance podcast. Awesome. But you're so, let's see. I need to change this around so I can read the whole thing. There we go. You could be in any stage. Yeah. I mean, that's what the 20-minute strategy call is good for, that I can really help you get yourself organized and figure out, what stage you should start in and what holes you need to go back and fill. But yeah, I mean, if your music has been on our station, then your music is obviously good enough for us to choose and play, and you'd be a great, it'd be a great option for you to get that free advertising package. Let's see, curious about pros and cons of, let's see. So streaming versus satellite radio strategies. I mean, truthfully, I am not a radio expert. Like, I created a radio station online because I didn't want to deal with the radio world. I wanted to create something where you guys could get the promotion that you needed without having to deal with any of, kind of the quid pro quo, like it's who kind of stuff in the radio world. And, it's all run by big conglomerates and everything. Um, I don't actually understand your question of streaming versus satellite radio. So maybe you want to clarify that. Okay, so you feel like you're in this expansion stage, but have some characteristics of the promotion stage. Yeah, that's pretty common. Like I said, this is all like a perfect scenario. If you had done everything in what I think of would be the best order, but most people haven't done that. So you can go back and fill in gaps. Yes, mostly stage 2, but some of stage 3. Let's see. I seem to be in promotion, but skipping some steps. Yeah, very common. So a lot of people in the academy are in promotion, but they need to go back and fill in some stuff from foundation, or they're in expansion and they need to fill out a few things up from promotion. Let's see. So if you guys have any more questions, let me know. You are welcome, Millicent. Okay, so you just make sure, I will make sure that you get the promo from being on the live call. If you purchase, I'll know, I'll see the timestamp, like it comes right to my email. I know I send it right to my sponsor, my assistant that I have in charge of all the sponsors on the podcast and radio station. And I let her know that you are entitled to that. And she'll send you an email to let you know what you're getting and how you claim that. But like I said, it's only available while we are here live because I can't give that many of those away. And it's about 5:17 right now. So I would say I don't see a ton of questions here. So I would say maybe I will offer that until about 5:30 my time, which is in the next 15 minutes. So if you want to grab that bonus, go to femalemusicianacademy.com and join under the annual plan, and you'll get that bonus. Let's see. Is it worth getting the email addresses of followers on social media? Absolutely, it is. So that's where I would put your freemium out there to social media and try to get them to opt in for that, because you just have so much more direct access to them through email versus social media. I mean, it just gives you another layer, right? Having social media is also good. You should be hitting them on from both barrels, both sides. I definitely have people that are on my email list that don't necessarily always open my emails, and they might see something on social, and then other ones that don't even use Facebook or Twitter, but they always read my emails. So you kind of have to hit all fronts. Freemium. So yeah, I mentioned that during the workshop. That's your free premium download of music. It can either be like one song, or if you have a lot of music already, you could offer some kind of a retrospective EP, and you offer that for free in exchange for their email address. Let's see. I tend to tag followers into my posts. You can do that. Some people don't like that. If you're tagging them every time you make a post, they might not like that. Will you be offering this in the coming months? I am going through a medical. Yeah, okay. I have 6 CDs. Wow. Miranda, that's impressive. Yeah, this would be really good for you. So I understand that you're going through a medical issue right now. I mean, I feel like my suggestion would be to join at the $39 a month, or at the yearly if you know that you're going to use it later, because for me, I had the best learning time when I was having medical issues. I definitely have had my share of medical issues. I've been in the hospital several times, and I just brought all my books and, was just in massive learning mode, or had my computer and I was learning tons of stuff. And so you could definitely, even if you're not, able to get out there and perform, or not feeling well enough to do some of the stuff, you can definitely still take advantage of a lot of things in the academy. But it would allow you to get this price, because this price, like I said, is going to be going up due to demand. And so I would love for you to join and grab that price if you know you're going to use this later. Let's see. I think I caught most of these questions behind here. Oh, I see. Okay. Got it. So good. I'm glad I answered your question, Millicent. So it looks like we have our first person who joined. I just want to check and see who that is so I can say congratulations. Oh, looks like Carol. Awesome. Oh, there's a few here. Okay. So we have Karen and we have Carol. So excited to have you guys in the academy. I cannot wait to meet with you one-on-one and get to know you and learn a bit about your music career and figure out how we can just like rock this thing forward. So congratulations, Carol and Karen. As I said, I'm going to extend it for the bonus for another 10 minutes. And then I actually have to go eat some dinner because it's 5:30 my time almost. And I am off to choir practice tonight. So let me just check and see if you guys have any more questions in the chat. I don't see it. I see a lot of thanks, which I appreciate. I'm glad you guys enjoyed this workshop and learned a lot. And for those of you that are joining the academy, I really look forward to working with you in the academy. It's going to be really fun. And as I said, you can join our first Friday coaching call just in 2 days. So hopefully that works out with your schedule. It is 12 p.m. Eastern, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. And if not, you can always catch the replay and kind of get to know some of the ladies. So I don't see any other questions. So I'm going to go ahead and shut down my share screen and just say goodbye to you guys. Oops, that didn't work so well, did it? I lost my little button that lets me unshare my screen. Where did it go? There we go. Oh, no, I didn't. It just was really slow. Oh, I know what's going on. Okay. Anyway, I want to say goodbye to you guys on video. So let me get out of this screen and back to the world of, there we go. It looks like it did unshare my screen and I'm back. Yes. Awesome. All right. It's been great hanging out with you guys. Congratulations again, Carol and Karen, who joined us tonight. You've got another like 8 minutes. If you want that bonus, jump into femalemusicianacademy.com and just click on the annual and grab that. And I will make sure that you get your bonus. Otherwise, if you want to join, monthly, love that too. Totally great. It'll be great to get to know you. And I will see you guys around. We will have a replay of this unless, the YouTube gods don't smile on me, but they usually do. So I will send out a replay tomorrow morning of this in case you want to go back and watch any part of it that you missed or didn't take enough notes. But besides that, I do have a PDF for you guys of all of these stages that I think will be really helpful. I did want you to take notes because I do really believe in the retention that notes promote. But I have produced a PDF for you guys, and I will send that out tomorrow with the replay, and you can download that and keep it for yourself as a reference guide. So have a great evening, you guys. I will see some of you in the academy. Otherwise, I'll see you around in our free group, Female Indie Musician Community. If you haven't joined that, you just go to woscommunity.com. That stands for Women of Substance. And join us in at least the free community so we can stay connected. Otherwise, I will see some of you in the academy, and I'll see others of you around on social media. Have a great evening.